Hi everyone, and welcome to 2022. Beautiful, beautiful, sunny, cold day. The sort of day I really love. So I've got Baz behind me waiting to go for her walk, but I was fiddling around doing things. One of which was mistletoe. Managed to actually get some mistletoe. It doesn't grow very well around where I live, so to actually find some was amazing. And it's been hanging up. And what I was doing was actually saving some of the leaves. And as I was doing it, I suddenly thought, let's have a little chat about this. Why am I saving them? Why am I saving the leaves? Not the lovely seeds, the white little seeds, because they don't actually dry very well. They still stay a bit ishy and mushy. So if you were going to use them in spell work, they wouldn't really work. But the leaves dry really well. And I love the leaves because they come in pairs, if you can see that. Isn't that pretty? How they curl around each other? I love them. Anyway, so that's why I'm on here, just to have a quick chat about mistletoe and why we use it at this time of year. So mistletoe as a plant is considered a parasite because it doesn't actually have its roots in the soil. It likes to sit on other trees. It sits on hawthorn, blackthorn, ash, apple trees. It really loves apple trees. Anybody that's been to Glastonbury, into the Avalon orchard, will know that they are covered in balls, because that's how they grow, in balls of mistletoe. And oak, but the oak is especially important if you find it, and was very magical to the Druids if it was growing on oak. In the summer, we don't tend to notice it because the leaves are in, the trees are in leaf. So these lovely balls that are up, usually very, very high up. I will say mistletoe is very rude. I'm not very tall. So to actually find some that's low enough that I can reach is really exciting, because normally mistletoe will be right up and you'll see these beautiful balls. And they are so far out of reach. It's just so rude. But yeah, in the summer, you don't see them. They're evergreen, so they are green all year round. They flower in May, and they have the most delicate, tiny little white flowers that are really, really pretty, like star-shaped. And then obviously we're used to the berries because they appear in December, which is why we tend to have them in December. So I got my books out. Obviously, my first go-to book was Rachel's, because it is always the first one that I pull out. So here she says about it being a parasite, don't have any roots, hang mistletoe in your home for protection and to bring love and peace to the household. Mistletoe can also be used in fertility, dream and healing spell work, spiritual healing. She then talks about why we may have that tradition of kissing under the mistletoe. And there are quite a few different ideas out there. Some of them relate to the Norse tradition where Balder was actually killed by a piece of mistletoe. So they balanced it out with the fact that it was useful for the goddess of love. Also, the Romans used it in wedding ceremonies. So there is that sort of thing to it. But I think there's I don't think I've got it here, but I was reading about it a few days ago where there are no, I can't think of it clearly now. But there are some other stories as to why we have it hanging over the door and we kiss under it. The basic reason we bring it indoors is for protection. So where the kissing came in, maybe that was just something that came along as it went. But it's meant to be that if a couple kiss under the mistletoe, they will have undying love and companionship. So wands can apparently ward off werewolves. Rachel hasn't tried this because she hasn't got any werewolves in her area. But yeah, so ruling planet, Sun, sign Leo, element air, and its gender is masculine. And then the other book that I thought I'd just have a little look at is Scott Cunningham's. So what he says is its basic powers are protection and love. It's got some very interesting folk names. Birdline, Donna Besson, All Heal, Devil's Fuge. Quite like that one. Thunder Besom, Golden Bough, and European Mistletoe. Interesting. Now he just says gender hot. Anyway, now his suggestion is that you pick it on Midsummer's Eve or when the moon is 6 days old, to wear it as a protective amulet or to help to conceive. The wood is often carved into rings and other magical objects. It's good for anti-lightning charms. The herb can be hung anywhere and is an excellent all-purpose protective device. Extinguishes fire. Interesting. I'm not going to try that. As people know, I quite like flames and fire, but I'm not going to try that, especially as I'm standing in my kitchen at the moment. And he also says that you can wear it as an amulet to preserve against wounds. So yeah. The other thing that I will say is that once you finish doing this, please remember to wash your hands. Mistletoe is actually poisonous if ingested, especially the berries. So if you've been picking the leaves off and squished any of the berries by accident, and then get it in your mouth. So please remember, if you have got any of this and you're doing this, wash your hands afterwards. So this is what I'm left with, because I'm not collecting a huge amount. I don't know if you can see that in my box. Because for me, a little goes a long way. I don't see the point in storing masses and masses of things. And the idea is, and size, in magic, size doesn't matter. So a little bit in a protection pouch or in a protective jar or whatever I decide to use it in, or fertility if I'm trying to think up ideas. A small part of that will be fine. And hopefully I'll get some more next year. So what I'm going to do with the rest of this, as it's still got a lovely lot of berries on it, is I'm going to hang it out in the back garden for the birds to have a peck at. And that is, so this will actually go up in the airing cupboard. I'm lucky enough that I've got an airing cupboard, probably for about a week to make sure that they are really lovely and dried out. And then I'll pop them in a jar, label it, obviously. And that's what I'll be doing. I will be using it for protection. Yep, my household jars are coming up for changing this month. Fertility. So for me, obviously at my age, I don't want more children. Thank you very much. So it'll be for ideas, for creativity, is what I'll actually use it in spells for. I hope this has been helpful, and I will catch you again another time. Have a great day.